Hello students, welcome to our online section of classes. Today we are going to have a chapter number 7, that is joint stock company. We are going to discuss regarding this chapter, joint stock company. Now, what is a company? A company is an artificial person created by law having some separate legal entity with a perpetual succession and a common seal. That means a company is actually what? An artificial person. It works as an artificial person with a separate legal entity, means it has a separate legal entity, as well as it is a perpetual succession. Perpetual succession means what? Men may come, men may go, but the company goes on forever. That means company never comes to a standstill. Company goes on forever, and there is a common seal for a company. Different authors, they have described definitions of company in a different way, but in a nutshell, what you can say is the company is an artificial person created by law. That means a company is an artificial person created by law having a separate legal entity. That means it has a separate legal entity. In the eye of law, the existence is there. Then it has a perpetual succession. That means men may come, men may go, but the company goes on forever. Company never comes to a standstill. Okay, and the company has what? A what? A common seal. Now, from this definition, we can get what? The features of a joint stock company. Yes, there are certain distinctive features of a joint stock company. The first one is what? The separate legal existence. Yes, a company has a distinct legal existence. It is an independent of its member. It's not anyone's company. It's company for all those who have invested their money in that company. The company belongs to them. Okay, but it has a separate legal existence in the sense the company operates with a legal name. Okay, any kind of dealings can be done in the names of the company. Secondly, perpetual succession. Yes, as I told you, a company is a perpetual succession because it is a creation of law. Only law can wind up the company, else no one can. Men may come, men may go, but I go on forever. The company follows this. That means company always is there. Even though the founder members are not there, but the company still exists. Okay, whoever has invested the money, they are not there. Somebody else will be there in that company, but the name and the company's operation will be ongoing. It never comes to a standstill. Limited liabilities. Yes, a company has a limited liabilities. Limited liability means what? A company has a limited liability means what? The nominal value of the investment is lost. Like in sole proprietor, the proprietor has to sell his all the personal belongings to pay the losses. But in a company form of a business, it's not that. The nominal value. Suppose you have invested 5 lakh in the company, only 5 lakh will be lost in case the company is suffering a huge losses. Okay. Else, no need of selling the personal belongings. No one is going to sell the personal belongings to pay the losses. So there is a liability is limited in a sole proprietors or a partnership form of a business or in a joint Hindu family business. Okay, the liability is what? Unlimited. Okay, in case of losses, the personal belongings are also going to be sold off to pay the losses, to mitigate the losses. Then comes transferability of shares. Yes, the people who invest the money in the company, they invest in the name of the shares. They are called the shareholders. Now, whoever is investing in the company can sell the shares in the open market. It means what? The ownership can be transferred. Suppose I am having a shares of Reliance Limited and I am not interested in keeping those shares anymore. I can sell it into the open market. Somebody else will become the what? Shareholders in that company. That means the transferability of shares is there. The transferability of ownership is there. Okay, a shareholder is free to withdraw its membership whenever he desires. Whenever he desires, he can withdraw the membership from the company. A company has an artificial a company is an artificial person created by law, but it has a common seal. Okay, a company cannot act and sign itself. Therefore, it acts through a human beings, and that human beings operates with what? The common seal. The common seals are there in all the documents of the company. Okay, all the dealings of the companies are in the names of those common seal. Then comes voluntary association. Yes, a joint stock company is a voluntary association. Okay, on means association of certain person who are interested in involving in that company, company, or who are interested in putting their funds in that company. So no one can force you to invest the money in that company, in any company. No one can force you. It's a voluntary association. Whoever is interested can become the member of the company by buying the shares. By buying the shares, as well as the person can also leave the company. And then I said it's an artificial legal person. Yes, a company is an artificial legal person. No living person. It's an artificial legal person. It operates in the name. It's an artificial person created by law, and it operates always just like a living person, but it's an artificial person. Okay, but a company is competent to enter in any kind of contract. Any kind of contracts can be signed, or the company can enter in any kind of contracts and all. Then comes corporate finance. Yes, a company has a corporate finance. The fund which is required to run the company is very huge. It's a very huge fund required. Okay, so in that case, what happened? The corporate funds are there. The funds are raised from the shares. The funds are raised from the debentures. The funds are raised from the public deposits. The funds are raised from borrowings from different kinds of financial institutions. Okay, and the company runs with a statutory rules and regulation formed by the government. In India, previously we had what? Companies Act of 1956. Okay, then certain amendments were there, and now we are having all those amendments have been done. Now we are having a very new Companies Act which was passed in the year 2013. So in India, all the companies now are governed by the rules and regulation framed by the Companies Act of 2013. Okay, so these are certain features of what? A joint stock company. Now, if you make a differences between a partnership and a company and a partnership, there is a huge difference. Okay, the mode of creation. The company is created by Companies Act, incorporating under the Companies Act, whereas partnership, it is a written or an oral agreement. A written or a oral agreement. That means when two peoples are agreeing to run a business, they can enter into a contract and the business can be started. But in a company, the incorporation must be done by following the norms of the Companies Act. Legal status. Yes, company has a separate legal status, whereas a partnership has no separate legal status. In a company, the minimum membership is 7 and maximum there is no limit. But in a partnership, we need minimum 2 members. Only 2 members are required, and maximum is what? 20. But in case of banking business, in partnership, we need only 10 members maximum. As far as liabilities is concerned, yes, in a joint stock company, the liability is very limited. Whereas in the partnership or any other form of a business, the liability is totally unlimited. So these are certain distinction between a company and a partnership form of a business. Okay, in our next section of the video, when we come, we will have a discussion regarding the merits of a joint stock company. Till then, thank you very much. Take care.